1,000 square meters, one family, zero dependency on the outside world. That is what this video is about. No grocery store, no gas cylinder, no electricity bill, no water supply. Everything your family needs to survive, grown, built, and generated on a single plot of land the size of a large house and garden. Today, we are going to design that system completely, and then science is going to tell us whether it actually works. But before we get into the design, let's talk about why you are actually here. Maybe it is the grocery bill. You walk into a store and nothing makes sense anymore. Vegetables cost what a full meal used to cost. Cooking oil, flour, dal. Everything that used to be cheap is quietly becoming a luxury. And you look at your monthly expenses and you think, how long can I keep doing this? Or maybe it is something bigger. You've been watching the world and something does not feel stable. Supply chains breaking down, energy prices spiking overnight, a pandemic that emptied shelves in 72 hours. You are not paranoid, you are paying attention. And paying attention is telling you that depending completely on a system you cannot control is a risk you are no longer comfortable with. Or maybe you're just curious. You've seen off-grid homesteads online, people growing their own food, generating their own power, living completely outside the system by choice. And some part of you wants to know, is that actually real or is it just content? And then there are some of you who have a very different reason. The world outside has already broken down in your scenario. No fuel, no functioning government, no supply chain, just survival. And you need to know right now what actually works and what does not. Here's what makes this video different from everything else you've seen on this topic. We are not going to show you someone's beautiful farm in the countryside and tell you to just do that. We are going to take exactly 1,000 square meters. That's 1/3 of an acre, roughly the size of a standard residential plot in most countries, and design a complete living system on it. Food system, water system, energy system, health system, waste system. Every number calculated, every design decision explained. And at the end, science gives us a straight answer. Is this actually possible for a real family of 4, or are we dreaming? 18 minutes from now, you will know exactly what it takes, and exactly whether you could do it. Welcome to Iron Veil Theory. Let's build this thing. Let's start with the most important question first. Can 1,000 square meters of land actually feed a family of 4? Not just survive, not just eat something every day and call it enough. Actually eat, with enough calories, enough protein, enough variety to stay healthy and functional through every season of the year. This is where most people's self-sufficiency dreams fall apart, because they imagine a garden, some tomatoes, a few herbs, maybe some spinach, and they think that is food independence. It is not. A garden is a hobby. What we are designing today is a food system, and there is a very big difference. So let's start with the numbers. A moderately active adult needs roughly 2,000 to 2,500 calories per day. A family of 4, 2 adults, 2 children, needs approximately 7,000 to 8,000 calories per day combined. That is 2.5 million calories per year. That is the number we are designing toward. Everything else is just engineering. Now, 1,000 square meters sounds like a lot until you realize that your house is sitting on part of it. A modest rural home with a small covered porch takes up roughly 150 to 200 square meters. That leaves us 800 square meters of workable land. 800 square meters to produce 2.5 million calories per year. Can it be done? Yes, but only if you are extremely deliberate about what you grow. The first design decision is this. You do not grow what tastes good first. You grow what feeds you first. Flavor comes after survival. And the crops that give you the most calories per square meter are not the ones most people think of. Let's go through them. Sweet potatoes. This is your #1 crop. Sweet potatoes produce more calories per square meter than almost any other food you can grow in a temperate or tropical climate. 1 square meter of well-managed sweet potato bed produces approximately 3 to 5 kilograms of food per growing season. At roughly 100 calories per 100 grams, that is 3,000 to 5,000 calories per square meter per season. They grow in poor soil, they grow in heat, they grow with minimal water once established, and every part of the plant is edible. The leaves are a nutritious vegetable. If you only had space for one crop, this would be it. Allocate 150 square meters to sweet potatoes. Potatoes. Similar calorie density to sweet potatoes, slightly more water demanding, but they store exceptionally well through winter, which is critical for year-round food security. A well-managed potato bed produces roughly 4 to 6 kilograms per square meter per season. Allocate 100 square meters to potatoes. Legumes, beans and lentils. Here is where your protein comes from. Beans, black beans, kidney beans, climbing beans give you both calories and significant protein. They also do something extraordinary for your soil. Legumes fix nitrogen from the air directly into the ground. This means they are actively fertilizing your land while they grow. In a closed system with no outside inputs, this is not optional. This is essential. Allocate 100 square meters to mixed legumes. Corn or maize. High calorie, stores well when dried, can be ground into flour for bread and porridge, grows vertically so it does not demand as much ground space relative to what it produces. Corn also works as a windbreak on the edges of your plot, protecting lower growing crops from wind damage. Allocate 75 square meters to corn along the northern border of your plot. Leafy greens and vegetables. Spinach, kale, cabbage, amaranth, these do not give you many calories, but they give you something equally important: micronutrients, vitamins and minerals that prevent the quiet diseases of malnutrition. A person can survive on pure calories for months, but without vitamins, particularly vitamin C, vitamin A, and iron, the body begins to fail in ways that are not immediately obvious but become catastrophic over time. Scurvy, night blindness, anemia. These are not ancient problems. They are what happens when people eat only staple crops and nothing else. Allocate 75 square meters to rotating leafy greens and vegetables. Fruit trees. This is your long game. Fruit trees take 2 to 4 years to produce meaningfully, but once established, they produce for decades with minimal effort. Papaya is the fastest, producing fruit within 1 year in warm climates. Banana gives you both fruit and leaves for cooking and wrapping. 1 or 2 dwarf apple or pear trees for temperate climates. Fruit trees also provide shade, which can be used strategically to protect more delicate crops from harsh afternoon sun. Allocate 100 square meters to a mixed fruit tree zone along the southern edge of your plot where they will not shadow other crops. Herbs and medicinal plants. We will come back to this in the health section, but carve out 50 square meters now along your fence lines and path edges, places where full crops cannot grow anyway. Tulsi, turmeric, ginger, aloe vera, lemongrass, mint. These are not luxuries. In a system with no pharmacy, these are your medicine cabinet. The animal protein question. Plant crops alone will get you most of the way there, but there's one nutritional gap that is very difficult to close with plants alone: complete protein and vitamin B12. The solution does not require a large animal. It requires chickens. 6 to 8 chickens on a small rotating pasture of 50 square meters will produce 5 to 6 eggs per day. Eggs are one of the most nutritionally complete foods that exist. High-quality protein, healthy fats, vitamin B12, vitamin D, choline for brain function. 6 eggs a day for a family of 4 means 1.5 eggs per person. Not a feast, but a complete nutritional supplement to your plant diet. Chickens also eat insects and kitchen scraps, reducing your waste. Their manure is one of the most effective fertilizers for your vegetable beds, and they are low maintenance compared to any larger animal. If your climate and space allow, add 2 to 3 rabbits. Rabbits breed quickly. Their meat is lean and high in protein. Their manure is even better than chicken manure for the garden. And unlike chickens, they are almost completely silent, which matters if you are trying to stay low profile in any kind of crisis scenario. Allocate 50 square meters total to a combined chicken run and small rabbit enclosure.
The water for food problem. Here is something most people do not calculate when they imagine growing their own food. 1 square meter of vegetable garden needs roughly 4 to 6 liters of water per day during the growing season. 800 square meters of active garden needs between 3,200 and 4,800 liters of water per day. That is not a small amount. That is a serious engineering problem, and we will solve it completely in the water system section coming up next. But the design decision here is this. Your food system and your water system are not separate. They are one integrated system. Every design choice in your garden must account for water efficiency. And that means 3 things. Mulching. A thick layer of straw, dried leaves, or wood chips on every bed reduces water evaporation from soil by up to 70%. This is not optional. This is the difference between a water system that works and one that runs dry. Drip irrigation. Surface watering loses enormous amounts of water to evaporation. A simple gravity-fed drip irrigation system, which you can build from basic materials, delivers water directly to roots where it is needed. Efficiency goes up, water demand goes down. Companion planting. Tall crops next to short crops so that shade reduces soil temperature and moisture loss. Corn shading beans, beans shading the soil beneath. Nature already figured this out. The 3 sisters, corn, beans, and squash, have been grown together for thousands of years for exactly this reason. The seasonal problem. One thing that kills most self-sufficiency attempts is winter. You cannot grow sweet potatoes in January in most climates. You cannot grow tomatoes when there is frost. And if your food system only works 8 months of the year, you have not built a food system. You have built a summer project. The solution is 2-part. First, preservation. Everything that can be dried gets dried. Corn, beans, lentils, dried and stored in sealed containers, they last 1 to 3 years. Root vegetables stored in a cool, dark root cellar last 6 to 10 months. Fermentation, making kimchi, pickles, and fermented vegetables, not only preserves food but increases its nutritional value. A small chest freezer powered by your solar system handles what preservation cannot. Allocate 50 square meters for a simple tunnel greenhouse within your vegetable zone. Sweet potatoes, 150 square meters. Potatoes, 100 square meters. Legumes, 100 square meters. Corn, 75 square meters. Leafy greens and vegetables, 75 square meters. Fruit trees, 100 square meters. Herbs and medicinal plants, 50 square meters along edges. Chicken and rabbit enclosure, 50 square meters. Tunnel greenhouse, 30 square meters. Home footprint, 170 square meters. Total, 1,000 square meters. Exactly. Nothing wasted. Every meter working. Can this actually feed a family of 4? Here's the honest calculation. Sweet potatoes alone, 150 square meters at 4 kilograms per square meter, 600 kilograms per season. At 100 calories per 100 grams, 600,000 calories from one crop alone. Potatoes, 100 square meters at 5 kilograms per square meter, 500 kilograms, approximately 350,000 calories, plus significant protein. Legumes, 100 square meters at roughly 1.5 kilograms of dried beans, 150 kilograms, approximately 500,000 calories plus significant protein. Corn, 75 square meters at roughly 3 kilograms of dried grain, 225 kilograms, approximately 800,000 calories. Total from staple crops alone, approximately 2 million calories per season. Add fruit, eggs, vegetables, herbs, rabbit meat, you are approaching 2.5 million calories per year. The target for a family of 4 was 2.5 million calories per year. The numbers work, just barely, with no room for crop failure, which means one thing: this system works on paper. Whether it works in practice depends entirely on how well you manage it, and that's the honest answer. Your design decision right now. If you are seriously considering this, start with just one bed, one 4 square meter sweet potato bed. Grow it this season. Learn how it behaves in your soil, your climate, your water conditions. The family that succeeds at 1,000 square meters did not start there. They started with 4 square meters and learned everything that 4 square meters had to teach them. Food keeps you alive, but water keeps you alive faster. 3 weeks without food, 3 days without water. And in this system, water is not just drinking water, it is cooking, washing, animal care, and the entire irrigation system keeping your food alive. Get this wrong and everything else fails with it. The numbers. Family of 4, 60 liters per day for drinking, cooking, hygiene. Garden irrigation with drip system and mulching, 1,000 to 1,500 liters per day. Animals, 10 liters per day. Total target, approximately 1,300 liters per day at peak. In winter, drops to 100 liters. That is what we are designing for. Source 1. Rainwater harvesting. Your roof is a water collector. 170 square meters of roof in a region receiving 600 millimeters of annual rainfall catches over 100,000 liters per year. 270 liters per day on average, covering your entire family need with surplus. Storage is everything. Rainfall comes in bursts. You need an underground concrete cistern of 15,000 to 20,000 liters, enough to carry you through 8 weeks of zero rain. Above-ground polyethylene tanks work too, at lower cost. A first flush diverter, simple pipe fitting you build yourself, discards the first dirty water off the roof. Everything after flows clean into storage. Source 2. Shallow well. Your emergency backup. Hand-dug 8 to 15 meters in most rural areas, produces 1,000 to 3,000 liters per day. Keep it 15 meters away from your animal enclosure. In normal operation, you never touch it. In a drought year, it saves everything. Source 3. Gray water recycling. Sink and shower water redirected through a simple gravel filter bed directly to your fruit trees and corn borders. 100 to 150 liters per day recovered. 50,000 liters per year that used to disappear down a drain, now feeding your garden for free. Distribution. Gravity-fed drip irrigation from your elevated storage tank to every growing zone. Water delivered drop by drop directly to roots. 60 to 70% more efficient than surface watering. Runs completely passively once installed. Your garden waters itself. Drinking water purification. 2 steps. First, 3-stage sand and gravel filter removes particles and biological material. Second, SODIS. Fill clear bottles, 6 hours in direct sunlight. Ultraviolet radiation kills bacteria, viruses, and parasites. Validated by WHO. Zero cost, works anywhere. The toilet. A composting toilet uses 0 water per flush. Human waste composted for 12 to 18 months becomes premium fertilizer. Liquid fraction diluted and applied to fruit trees. Saves 30 to 40 liters per person per day. Closes the loop completely. The honest truth. Water is the most solvable problem in this entire system. It is engineering, not skill. Design it right once, it runs itself. The only region where this system needs extra thought is anywhere experiencing multi-year drought. There, a deeper borehole is not optional, it is the foundation. Know your annual rainfall before you design anything else. That single number determines everything.
Food grows itself. Water falls from the sky. But energy is invisible until it disappears. And in this system, energy is not comfort. It is what keeps your water pumping, your food preserved, and your family warm in January. The numbers. Forget what your current electricity bill says. In a deliberately designed self-sufficient home, your real electrical need is dramatically lower. Lighting, 2 kilowatt hours per day with LED. Refrigeration, 1 kilowatt hour per day. Water pumping, devices, small appliances, 2 kilowatt hours per day combined. Cooking and heating, separate systems entirely, not electric. Total electrical target, 5 kilowatt hours per day. That is 80% less than an average modern home. Not by sacrificing comfort, by being deliberate. Primary electricity is solar. 6 to 8 standard solar panels, 1.5 to 2 kilowatt array generates your 5 kilowatt hours per day in any climate receiving reasonable sunlight. Storage, 15 kilowatt hour lithium iron phosphate battery bank,
covers 3 to 4 cloudy days with zero solar input before reaching critical low. Lasts 10 to 15 years, one-time investment, zero ongoing cost, 25 years of free electricity. The only climate this needs adjustment, extreme cold below -20 for extended periods. There, your wood fuel reserve needs to be larger. Everything else this system handles completely. Bonus: biogas. Kitchen scraps plus animal manure in a simple underground digester produces 1 to 2 cubic meters of cooking gas per day, enough for 30 to 60 minutes of cooking, completely free. The leftover digestate is premium liquid fertilizer straight to your vegetable beds. Nothing wasted, everything looped back. The honest truth: energy is the easiest system to achieve full independence in. Solar technology has dropped 99% in cost since 1977. A system that was financially impossible 15 years ago is now accessible to an ordinary family. One-time investment, zero ongoing cost, 25 years of free electricity. The only climate this needs adjustment, extreme cold below -20 for extended periods. There, your wood fuel reserve needs to be larger. Everything else this system handles completely. Your home on this plot does not need to be large. It needs to be smart. A family of 4 functions comfortably in 60 to 80 square meters of well-designed living space. 2 bedrooms, 1 common area, a small kitchen, a bathroom. That is it. Anything larger is wasted heat, wasted materials, and wasted space that could be growing food. The single most important design decision: orientation. Face your largest windows south, full stop. A south-facing home in winter captures free solar heat every single day the sun shines. Combined with thick walls and good insulation, a properly oriented home in most climates needs almost no additional heating on sunny winter days. The sun does the work for free. The walls: thermal mass and insulation. Stone, brick, rammed earth, or compressed earth blocks all provide thermal mass that absorbs daytime heat and releases it slowly at night. Combined with an insulated outer layer, straw bale, wood fiber, or recycled foam board, your walls become a slow-moving heat battery. Warm in winter, cool in summer. No energy required. The roof, your most critical insulation point. 40% of heat loss in a poorly built home escapes through the roof. Thick insulation above your ceiling, straw, recycled materials, or standard insulation bots is the single highest return improvement you can make to any shelter. Summer cooling, no electricity needed. A roof overhang of 60 to 90 centimeters on your south-facing side blocks the high summer sun completely while allowing the low winter sun in fully. Cross ventilation, windows on opposite walls opened at night, flushes stored heat out while outside temperatures are cool. A small courtyard with a water feature or dense planting lowers surrounding air temperature by 3 to 5 degrees through evaporative cooling. The backup heater. 1 small rocket mass heater in your main living area, fired for 2 to 3 hours each morning in deep winter. Heats a thermal bench that radiates warmth for 12 to 18 hours. Fuel, garden prunings, and small wood. Your entire winter heating from a bundle of sticks each morning. The honest truth about shelter. A well-designed small home outperforms a large, poorly designed one in every climate and every season. Size is not comfort. Design is comfort. In a self-sufficient system, the best doctor is prevention. Because when something goes seriously wrong and there is no hospital nearby, you want to have made sure it never went seriously wrong in the first place. The medicinal garden. Remember those 50 square meters of herbs along your fence lines? This is where they earn their space. Turmeric, powerful anti-inflammatory, proven effective for joint pain, infection response, and digestive problems. Ginger, nausea, digestion, respiratory infections. Aloe vera, burns, skin wounds, digestive healing. Tulsi or holy basil, respiratory infections, fever, stress. Garlic, Natural antibiotic properties, genuinely effective against a wide range of bacterial infections. Lemongrass, fever reduction, pain relief. Neem, antifungal, antibacterial, skin conditions. These are not superstitions. These are compounds with documented pharmacological activity that human beings used effectively for thousands of years before synthetic pharmaceuticals existed. The skills that matter more than the plants. Wound cleaning and closure, recognizing infection versus normal healing, managing fever, oral rehydration therapy, the simple combination of water, salt, and sugar that has saved more lives from diarrheal disease than any pharmaceutical intervention in history. Splinting a fracture, managing a burn, recognizing when something is beyond your ability to treat. A basic wilderness first aid course, 2 days of training, gives you more genuinely useful emergency medical skill than most people accumulate in a lifetime of modern living. The medicine cache. Maintain a 6-month supply of any prescription medications your family members take regularly. Most medications store safely well beyond their printed expiration date under cool, dry conditions. Rotate stock regularly. Beyond prescriptions, a well-stocked basic medical kit. Antiseptic, wound closure strips, bandages, oral rehydration salts, basic pain relief, antihistamines, antifungal cream, thermometer. These cover 90% of medical situations a healthy family encounters in a year. The honest truth about health. A healthy family eating fresh vegetables, clean water, adequate protein, and doing physical work every day is dramatically healthier than the average modern family. Most chronic disease, diabetes, hypertension, obesity-related conditions, improves dramatically or disappears entirely on a whole food physical lifestyle. Your food system and your health system are the same system. In a self-sufficient system, there is no such thing as waste. There is only a resource that has not found its next use yet. Every output from one part of your system becomes an input to another. This is not an idealistic principle. It is a practical design requirement, because in a closed system, anything that leaves your 1,000 square meters is a loss you cannot afford. Organic kitchen waste. Every vegetable peel, food scrap, eggshell, and leftover goes into one of 2 places. Either the biogas digester, where it produces cooking gas and liquid fertilizer, or the compost heap, where it becomes rich soil amendment for your vegetable beds within 8 to 12 weeks. Nothing goes to a bin. Nothing leaves the property. Human waste. Composting toilet as designed in the water system. Liquid fraction diluted and applied to fruit trees. Solid compost returned to soil after full composting period. Complete loop, 0 waste, 0 water used. Animal waste. Chicken and rabbit manure collected daily, mixed with straw bedding and composted for 4 to 6 weeks, applied directly to vegetable beds. The single most effective fertilizer your system produces, and it is generated continuously for free. Garden waste. Corn stalks, prunings, dead plant material, 3 destinations. Coarse woody material goes to rocket stove fuel store, soft green material goes directly to compost. Very fine material gets used as mulch directly on beds to suppress weeds and retain moisture. Gray water, already covered in water system. 100 to 150 liters per day recycled directly to fruit trees and corn borders. Packaging and non-organic waste. In a genuinely self-sufficient system, almost no packaging enters your property because almost nothing is purchased. The small amount of inorganic waste that does accumulate, metal, glass, some plastic, is stored, repaired where possible, and repurposed creatively. Glass jars become food storage. Metal becomes repair material. Nothing is discarded without asking whether it has another use first. The honest truth about waste. Modern waste is a symptom of a linear system. Take, make, discard. A self-sufficient system is circular by necessity, and circular systems are not just environmentally sound, they are economically sound. Every kilogram of waste you convert back into a resource is a kilogram you do not need to purchase or produce from scratch. When your system is running well, your weekly waste output fits in a single small container. That number alone tells you how efficiently your system is working. We have designed the entire system: food, water, energy, shelter, health, waste. Now, science gets to answer the question we started with. Can a family of 4 actually live completely self-sufficiently on 1,000 square meters? The honest answer is yes and no, and it depends on 3 things. Where science says yes. Water independence, fully achievable in any region receiving 500 millimeters or more of annual rainfall. The engineering is straightforward. The technology is proven. Hundreds of communities worldwide already operate on rainwater harvesting and graywater recycling alone. Energy independence, fully achievable today at accessible cost. Solar plus battery plus rocket stove plus solar cooker covers 100% of a deliberately managed family's energy needs. This is not theoretical. Off-grid solar households exist successfully in every climate on Earth. Waste elimination, fully achievable. Composting, biogas, graywater recycling, these are ancient technologies validated by modern science. A closed-loop waste system on 1,000 square meters is entirely realistic. Where science says, almost. Food, this is where the numbers get honest. 800 square meters can theoretically produce 2.5 million calories per year for a family of 4. The calculation works on paper, but agriculture doesn't happen on paper. It happens in soil, in weather, in seasons, in pest pressure, in human error. A first-year farmer managing this system will realistically produce 60 to 70% of their calorie target. Experience, soil improvement, and refined technique push that toward 90 to 100% by year 3 or 4. Which means for the first 1 to 2 years, partial outside food supplementation is the realistic expectation. Not failure, just a learning curve with a known endpoint. Protein is the tightest constraint. Eggs and legumes cover most needs, but complete protein sufficiency for growing children requires careful dietary management and nutritional knowledge. Psychology. Every study of intentional, self-sufficient communities, and there have been many, identifies the same primary failure point. Not food, not water, not energy. People. Isolation, monotony, physical exhaustion, disagreement about workload distribution, loss of social connection, these are what actually break self-sufficient experiments. A family that communicates well, shares work fairly, maintains outside social connections, even occasionally, and approaches the project with genuine shared commitment, succeeds. A family with pre-existing tensions, unclear roles, or mismatched commitment levels struggles within months, regardless of how good the physical design is. The soil you grow your food in matters. The soil your relationships are built on matters more. Here is the number that puts everything in perspective. If every family on Earth tried to live this way, 1,000 square meters per family of 4, the total land required would be approximately 2.5 billion hectares. Earth has approximately 5 billion hectares of land suitable for some form of habitation or agriculture. It is physically possible at a planetary scale. The land exists. What does not exist yet is the knowledge, the infrastructure, and the social organization to make it happen at scale. But that is a civilizational question. For one family on one plot, the science says clearly, it is hard. It takes time to learn. The first year will be humbling. By year 3, you will be genuinely food secure. By year 5, you will wonder why everyone is not doing this. We have spent this entire video on the how, but the why matters just as much, because the design is the same for everyone. The reason is completely personal. If you are here because of money, inflation is not slowing down. Food prices, energy prices, water bills, the cost of depending on external systems keeps rising, and you have zero control over it. A self-sufficient system converts that ongoing monthly expense into a one-time setup investment. After year 2, your food costs approach 0, your energy costs approach 0, your water costs approach 0. The system pays itself back and then pays you back every single month for the rest of your life. If you are here because the world outside feels unstable, you are paying attention. Supply chains break, pandemics happen, grids fail, governments make decisions that affect your family's access to basic necessities, and you have no vote in those decisions. A self-sufficient system is not paranoia, it is sovereignty. The ability to look at whatever is happening outside your fence and know that your family is fed, warm, and safe regardless. If you are here because you want to try something different, modern life has quietly removed almost every direct connection between human beings and the systems that keep them alive. Most people have no idea where their food comes from, how their water is cleaned, or what powers their home. Building a self-sufficient system reconnects you to all of it. It is deeply satisfying in a way that is genuinely difficult to explain until you have eaten a meal entirely from food you grew yourself. If you are here because the world outside has already collapsed, then you already know why, and this video just gave you the blueprint. The truth that applies to all 4 reasons. You do not have to go all the way. You do not have to achieve 100% self-sufficiency on day 1, or ever. Every step towards self-sufficiency reduces your vulnerability. A rainwater tank, a vegetable bed, a solar panel, 6 chickens. Each one is a reduction in dependency. Each one is a small piece of freedom that nobody can take away from you. Start where you are. Use what you have. Add one system at a time. The family that is fully self-sufficient in year 5 started with a single sweet potato bed in year 1.
Let's come back to where we started. 1,000 square meters, 1 family, 0 dependency on the outside world. At the beginning of this video, that sounded either like a dream or like an extreme survival fantasy. Now you know it is neither. It is an engineering problem, and we just solved it together. Food system designed, water system designed, energy system designed, shelter designed, health designed, waste closed loop, nothing in, nothing out, everything cycling back. The science gave us an honest answer. It is achievable, not easily, not immediately, but genuinely, practically, realistically achievable by an ordinary family with ordinary resources and an extraordinary commitment to learning. And here's the thing that I want you to carry away from this video. You do not need the world to collapse to make this worth doing. You do not need a zombie apocalypse or a petroleum crisis or a government failure. The reasons to build this system exist right now, today, in the ordinary reality of rising prices, fragile supply chains, and a modern life that has quietly made most people completely dependent on systems they have zero control over. Self-sufficiency is not about fear. It is about freedom. The freedom to look at your kitchen and know that what is on that table came from 30 meters away. The freedom to look at your electricity meter and feel nothing because it stopped mattering 2 years ago. The freedom to look at whatever is happening in the world outside your fence and know, genuinely know, that your family is going to be fine. That freedom is available to anyone willing to build it one system at a time. Now, I want to hear from you. Which system are you starting with? Food? Water? Energy? Leave a comment right now, because the people in the comments of this video are exactly the kind of people you want to know when you're building something like this. If this video made you think differently about how you live, share it with someone who needs to hear it. And if you're not subscribed yet, this channel exists for exactly these questions, the ones that matter, the ones that change how you see the world. Iron Veil Theory. Stay curious, stay prepared, stay sovereign. I will see you in the next one.